Try to catch the schedule if you can. We are about 10 minutes later than planned. So the next presentation is by Tivan, and his full name is Mindika Tivan Nekasinki. So he will present another way to model and to analyze catalytic reactions. So he will introduce another degree of freedom. He will present how one can take into account change of electronic state as an auxiliary tool for chemical reactions. Okay, floor is yours.
Thank you, Dr. Dimitri, and good afternoon, everybody. I'm going to discuss about dynamics of carbon-sulfur bond breaking facilitated by charge transfer in thiophene hydrodesulfurization. So hydrodesulfurization is the process of removing sulfur contaminants from natural gas of crude petroleum products to form refined petroleum products. And during hydrodesulfurization, the sulfur contaminant hydrocarbon is treated with hydrogen in the presence of heterogeneous catalyst, such as molybdenum disulfides and ruthenium disulfides at elevated temperatures and pressures to form refined petroleum products. So the mechanism of hydrodesulfurization is briefly mentioned in this diagram. So in this mechanism, the most important steps are this carbon-sulfur bond breaking, and also the catalytic surface regeneration steps. So these are the most important steps of this catalytic hydrodesulfurization process. So the main objectives of this study is to model the rate determining step of this catalytic hydrodesulfurization of thiophene, which is assumed as the carbon-sulfur bond breaking of thiophene using principles of quantum mechanics. And also, we are going to study the dynamics of this catalytic hydrodesulfurization reaction of thiophene. So in this study, I use Morse potential to model the carbon-sulfur bond in thiophene. I use Morse potential because we can address bond breaking and also the unbound states of the atoms using Morse potential. And here you can see the potential energy diagram for the reactants and products in coordinate space, and also the simultaneous change of nuclear and electronic states of the wave packet is modeled using Marcus theory in this study. So this expression is the time evolution, numerical evolution of the Gaussian wave packet. So this expression represents the numerical evolution of the Gaussian wave function. So this is the evolution operator. So the evolution operator modifies the current wave function, current or past wave function in ultra-fast time intervals to predict the future wave function. And we have to know this current wave function, and this definition of this evolution operator mainly depend on the kinetic energy and the potential energy, and we use Morse potential as the potential energy. So the initial definition of the evolution operator mainly depend on the initial definition of the momentum. So depending on the initial definition of the momentum, we use three different methods. So in the first method, momentum is defined in momentum space, and it is propagated in momentum space. And in the second method, momentum is defined in position space, and the wave function is propagated in position space. And in the third method, momentum is defined in position space based on the definition of the derivative in finite differences, and the wave function is propagated in coordinate space. So here you can see this movie illustrates the time evolution of the Gaussian wave packet in coordinate space, and this is our potential energy surface. And as you can see, initially this Gaussian wave packet is at equilibrium position. We use the equilibrium position as the carbon-sulfur bond length in thiophene molecule, and as you can see, it starts at initial position, and if it has enough kinetic energy, it will propagate through the coordinate space. It starts at this initial potential, which is the ground state potential, and if it has enough kinetic energy, it will overcome this potential energy barrier, and it will transform to the excited state, which is shown in here. So this is the excited state potential. Okay, so I calculated the change of probabilities of this wave, ground state wave packet with time at different initial momentums. So here you can see this diagram shows the change of ground state probabilities of the wave packet at different initial momentums. As you can see, at small initial momentums, the ground state probability of the wave packet is almost 1. That means energy is not enough to facilitate this charge transfer process, and as the energy of initial energy or the momentum of this wave packet increases, the probability of the ground state probability of the wave packet is decreased. That means charge transfer reaction happens. So at higher initial momentums, the ground state probability drops down almost to 0. That means excited state is populated. That means charge transfer reaction is facilitated. So for both methods, we have the similar kind of trend, and we also calculated the differential electron transfer rates for this reaction. So we use this expression to calculate the differential electron transfer rates. For this electron transfer reaction, and this diagram shows the energy or initial kinetic energy dependence of this differential electron transfer rates for this reaction. So at small initial kinetic energies, the rate constant or rate of the reaction or the rate constant is small, and as the kinetic energy of the wave packet increases, the initial kinetic energy of the wave packet increases, the rate of the reaction is also increases as expected for both methods. And I also calculated the activation energy of this process using Arrhenius equations, Arrhenius relationship. So here you can see the Arrhenius relationship, and so this is the Arrhenius plot. This is the Arrhenius plot obtained for this electron transfer process for both methods. So the slope of this plot is equals to the activation energy for this process. So the activation energy for both methods are tabulated in here. So as you can see, the activation energy for both methods, method 2 and method 3, have some deviations with the actual activation energy value reported, and assume in here we assume that the carbon sulfur bond breaking as the activation as the activation or rate determining step of this hydrodesulfurization reaction, and this activation energy is for the whole hydrodesulfurization reaction. So but the carbon sulfur, other than carbon sulfur bond breaking step, we have surface regeneration step by desorbing adsorbed sulfur. So that step also can have some considerable amount of activation energy. So we didn't consider about that step. So we consider only about this step. So that may be a reason for this deviation. And also during parameterization of this potential energy surfaces, we may have some deviations from the actual values from the potential well depth and also the potential width of the potential surface. So this may be the reason for this deviation from the actual results. So as conclusions, so in this study I tried to model the carbon sulfur bond breaking of thiophene hydrodesulfurization using principles of quantum mechanics. I studied the dynamics of this carbon sulfur bond breaking reaction, carbon sulfur bond breaking step of this hydrodesulfurization process, and the electron transfer rates. So the carbon sulfur bond breaking electron transfer rates depend on the initial kinetic energy, and it increases as the initial kinetic energy of the wave packet increases, and we can use the linear plot to determine the accuracy of these results. And with that, I would like to conclude my presentation, and I would like to thank Dr. Dimitri for his valuable support and guidance throughout the course. Thank you.